crooked. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm like crooked, but there's nothing to do about it. Oh, let's see. I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. There we go. Well, it's kind of crooked, but I can't really change anything on here. So this is as good as it's gonna get. And this won't even. Mevo wouldn't let me do anything. It doesn't like me today. Hi. I'm kind of crooked. You notice that? A little crooked, but had some difficulties because Mevo decided Debbie didn't need to go on. So I had to switch my phone, but I can't get it to straighten out. So this is as good as it's gonna get. And it won't go down anymore. It won't go up anymore. Well, it makes it a little bit better, maybe. So we'll get started. Yeah, I don't really know what the problem is. But not sure. Yeah, there's some really not sure. A lot of problems going on here tonight. A lot of problems going on here. Okay, so let's get rid of volumes. Volumes. Yeah, we don't need that. Hopefully you can hear me. Let me make sure I turn this off because I had it turned off. Now, let's go up there. There we go. All right. I had to scramble to try to find my things to hook up my phone the other way, and I don't know. I'm not sure what's wrong with Mevo, but whatever. Hello, glad you guys can make it. I don't have any comments. Not sure what that's about. Anyways, we are going to make a gingerbread attachment. And the first thing that you'll need, I gotta make sure now that I stay in the middle. So if I'm getting comments here. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being patient. And if I get out of line because I couldn't turn my phone, it wouldn't let me go live that way. Don't ask me why, but tonight's not my night. Anyway, what I have here is a nine-inch foam board that's cut out, and then I glued on some quilting material. And then this is my felt, or this really isn't felt, this is fleece. This is one of their nicer fleece. I used them to make, what did I use them for? Oh, dinosaur tails a lady had me make for a birthday party for her child. So, you glue that on, you cut this out. Now, I usually will cut out a pattern out of just poster board, you know, this stuff. Then I use my backing here for this. I put on my quilting, and then when I cut out for this, I usually leave probably about an inch, a little over half an inch around when I cut out my material, so that I can fold it over. And you just lay it down. Let's turn some of this off. I'm not going to step out there because I'll probably break my neck. Yeah, all this stuff just flung in the floor. So, and you can see, hopefully you can see, you know, right here how much it's going to go over. And what I usually do is I'll put a little bit of glue here. Bring it up, put it down. And I'll do this part and make sure that you know, stretch it tight so that it's, because this will stretch. This fleece here is very, very nice. Yeah, well, when you go on Wednesday, Susan, I'd recheck. I didn't do that because I just figured I wouldn't have a problem. Why would I think that I wouldn't have a problem? Check your Mevo, because Mevo would not let me go on. Maybe I was doing, so I don't know if I was doing something wrong. So then I take the two end pieces here. So I'm doing it like, you know, squares around and run a little line there. Glue that down. And come over here and make sure, you know, stretch it tight. And then just follow that around the edges there of your poster board. And glue it down. Which is fairly easy. I should have known that I should have checked everything out because it's so sporadic on how we can get on or not. Yeah, Cece, call me tomorrow and I'll try to get you hooked up. I don't know. I forgot. Are you starting this week? I thought you weren't starting till August. So then we have a nice, you know, and you can look around and you might see like there's a bulge there. Just take your, and glue it down. I kind of go around the edges, these little gaps. And I got this, what did I do with that? I don't know where I put it. Took the picture off of Canva, and what I did was I just went into Canva and I typed in gingerbread, and they brought up all these gingerbreads, and what I did was enlarge this, and I made it, I don't know how to do with the picture that I printed out because I had it here, but God knows it's probably blown in the wind now. Anyways, I blew it up, and I got, it's almost, the picture that I blew up is a little bit shorter than this, but that's where I got part of my design that we're going to do here. Now, this I did with, I cut the glitter. I get this from Amazon. This came from Joann's. The board you can get, you know, anywhere. Joann's is where I get my quilt batting. I have to think about what I'm doing now because I got quite frustrated, let me just tell you. Yeah, you better, don't follow me. I know better. So, now we're going to align all the things we're going to put on and use for that. Now, these eyes I bought off of Etsy, and they really, I didn't buy them for this. This is just what I had. And they come in a sheet like this. And because I had them, that's why I'm using them. I don't know. They do look kind of cute. But I'm sure there's cuter ones out there. This, I cut it out of my glitter foam. And then what I did, and I used two different things because I used the tacky glue to put on it first. so that I could put my sprinkles on. But I don't know if I just didn't put it on thick enough. I was doing this in between and watching, you know, the Olympics. And I was running here when I not watching something and then running back out. Well, it didn't stay on very well. So then I let it dry overnight because it needs to dry overnight. And then I went and I put Mod Podge on it. And then I sprinkled it a lot more. And I also used the glitter that I think Dawn sells it now from Lori. The glitter on it too. So it would get I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a real glittery kind of look. And I just kind of hand drew it, you know, what I wanted. I think the first one I made was a little bit too big, and I don't know where I put that because I was going to show you that. But put it on like that, cut it around, just seeing where you want it to end. You more or less got to have your face done so you can set everything up. You know, so I want it to be a little bit to the side, but I want to make sure that my eyes, I used a cherry that you get these from Hobby Lobby for the nose. Make sure you got them, you know, evenly. And then I decided to, I was going to use these peppermints that I had, but then I decided I didn't like the peppermints. So I took, I buy a lot of stuff from, I think I got all the stuff on Etsy, and it comes with, there's a lot of different things that I have in here. They're not just all from the same place. I usually just put them on all in here. A lot of things I buy for my little, you know, to cutesy everything up. I like all the little cutesy things. They're resin, or they're like a plastic. I would say them, and when you look for it, they're actually charms. And they come with a little hooky-doo on them, but you can take them off. These are, I don't know if I have any more of the big ones left. I got a little one. I just took, this one has a little thing on there, so I would take all this off. I just took my clippers and I just clip this thing off, the ends of it off, so that I can, I don't know if I want it that size or I want it bigger. That's the one I had, but it's got paper stuck to it, so I'm going to cut a new one. That kind of looks even to me. I'm going to be using some of these things on top of the hat that I made, a baker's hat. And I'll show you how to do that. But the ones that there are ones that I bought, and I don't know who I bought them from, but these are made out of resin, but the top part of them are sticky. You know, I guess I just didn't pay attention to them, but I have quite a few. I mean, it's sticky, so that's why I'm not using any of those. And I also got, they're in the lighter colors. I'm sure this is resin, because stuff sticks to it. And they're charms. And, no good. And you can buy the, you know, like I got these, and these are all charms with a little, all you do is just take it and twist it, and it will come off. But these are made out of, I don't think this is resin. Or maybe gel. I'm not sure. Anyways, but those I got on Etsy. So you just look for people that make bracelets and they have charms. Things like that. Okay, so we're going to set this up. We are going to, so I don't know if to tell you to use the Mod Podge or to use this. I think what happened is I didn't put this on thick enough. I think you have to have it quite thick where this kind of sinks into it. And then you wouldn't have to do it. Like I ended up using this first, but I didn't have it thick enough. So then I had, a lot of them fell off. And then I had to take Mod Podge after this dried a day, over top of it again. And I put the glitter on top. And then I put the sprinkles that I'm sure I think I got those from Amazon. All right, so we're going to set this up, and first we'll dolly up our hat. And then after, I'll show you guys how to make a hat. And I've got some of the resi ones, and I took off the tips off of them, and I made a little bow to put on it. But I'm thinking, and I made this one, I made like a couple of them, because I wasn't sure what size, and this was my first one, and I cut off part of this on it, and I should have left it on because you want it to kind of sit on there, you know. You want it, and then after I glue all this on, this is gonna, you can glue this to the front, and then you can glue it to the back. This one I cut, and that's the first time I ever made one, so I glued it in the inside of it. Not good, because then you can't slip it on. But this is what we're gonna be using, this little cutie. So let's glue on our little pieces. And I got these little gingerbreads, and I'm going to put one on each side. Kind of tilt it. And then I'll put one over here. I thought I had man, I'm like lost tonight. I'm telling you, nothing is frustrating enough. You get yourself all together, you get your project all together, you're ready to go, and then you go to click it on and it tells you you can't use it. Which really angers me. So let's get another one of the ice cream cones. And these are pretty, these are new. I think I bought these last year. These little cones. See, look how cute these are. Aren't these cute? Cute, cute. Alright, I want one of the little baby cones. Here they are. These are small, but they're really cute. You just take just twist it in a little thing to hook it on. It just comes right up. So, I'm going to put this in front. And I'll put I got like a Gumby. When I'm putting it down, I'm just setting it on there. Kind of, this one's kind of crooked. This one's very tiny, but it's cute. And that's a little Gumby bear. So then we have that. Cute, cute. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you how put this on, and then I'll show you how to make the hat. I'm just going to put a little bow that I made from the trim that I use for this. And we're going to set that right there. So that's what it will look like. Cute. And I think I'm going to put a, I get this to stay up. I was going to spray it with glue, and I forgot today to put a cherry on top of it. Alright. So now, this is a smaller one that I'm going to show you how to put it together. And this one was cut, I think I cut it from this. I used the same pattern that I used for everything else for this one, but it was too small. So you just, take your thread, double knot it, and you're just going to do a little stitch, which anybody can do this because it's not hard. I left a little bit of it out. You're just going to go maybe like a ½ inch in between, and just, you're gathering it more or less is all you're doing. All the way around. And that's how you get your little gathers to put into the top part of it. And you just start with a round circle, whatever you want. You don't have to use the fleece. I used what I had. So you can just gather it up. It even looks like one of those French hats. Frustrating isn't the word for it. I want to start kicking everything. So, after I gather it all up, I will bring it up to see. So this is going to be, we're just going to make a little baby one like this one that I made. This was like my first one to see how to do it. And then we're going to tie it with the gathering. And actually I should have used a different needle because this needle is not a sharp needle and it's not going through real good, but that's okay. And you don't have to be a sewer to be able to do this, just a gather stitch. Bring it in, tie it off, and I'll put 2 of them in there just so it will hold. Yeah, it's amazing what we have to go through just to do a video. It's like, oh my gosh. And we'll cut it off. And then we're just going to even out the gathering, because you're going to take it, when you put it on your whatever type of ribbon you're going to use, you just want to go like this. Now I chose this is a Regency, but I'm almost positive that you can get it on Etsy. Okay, so the first 2 I made, which were my boo-boos, is I cut this off. You don't want to do that. You know, and this is 1.5 inches, I think. Yeah, 1.5 inches. So you want to keep this all the way. And what we're going to do is I'm going to just put some glue down here because I want this to I want to leave this. See, and this is nice because this really helps you because it's got all the little lines in there for you. So it's much easier to, so I'm going to put my glue down here. I'm going to stick this side in there, go around, and just put this to the edge. So you're putting it, you know, you just want that edge of where you've got it gathered to go on there. And then if you don't, you know, if it's not precise and you miss some spots, you can add some glue to it. I'm just going to come around the side of it, and then we're going to flip it over. I'm just setting it on there. And putting my glue down. And I know this, I really needed my Mevo so you could see this better, but nothing I can do about it. So there you got your little edge. And look at it, already looks like a little hat. And then you just cut it off to where this meets, like that. So then you just glue this together right here as you're doing it on the seam. And there's your little hat. And then you can look down, you can look here, and like right here I see that I missed a spot, but I don't think it's going to make any difference because it catches the gathering part of it. Part of the, well, here I missed a little spot. Just crunch it down. Squeeze it in there so that it will stick. And I can see some spots here, but I don't really think it's going to make that much difference. See, because I'm putting it where this has a nice edge right here. I'm making sure it's not any further than that. So then you've got this little lip here, if you can see in here, this little lip that you can stick it on whatever you're doing. And then because I like to be real creative, you know, I like all the glitzy gluey, we're going to take another one that I have, just press it down to make sure you've got it caught. Okay, and then I have this one, and this I think is like a, I don't think it's a half. I think it's an 8. No, it's a half. Well, it's probably an 8. And this came from Amazon. He's edging the sidewalk. So you're going to start back here where your seam is. And then I'm going to run my glue right on that little line there as I apply this one. Just to give it a little bit more color. Then I'm going to go over top where my seam is here just a little. And fold it down. So, there we got our little baker's hat. You know, and then just go underneath it just so you know that you've got it, it's pressed against it. Because this ribbon here is a felt too. Yeah, I've got it all. So then, after we have that, then I decided to make a little bow to go on it. And I just folded 2 pieces together. That looks good. Put a little glue there so that we'll stick together. And then we'll take got a little piece to go in the middle of it. I get all my little glue things out of here. Hopefully I didn't pinch it in the middle. Nope, I didn't. Okay, it is. So you just wrap it right in the middle of your loop to make your 2 loops, one on each side. So we'll put a little bit right here to put it down. And then we're going to bring it across. Let's see if I can do it without gluing my fingers together. Put a little bit of glue on the back. So there we go. We got a little bow to go on it. I get the glue off my fingernails so I can make my loopy doops come out. This doesn't have any wire in it, but it's kind of stiff, you know. So I'll glue that on. Guess I'll put that up there. And then if you want to, you can put the, you know, little cutie things on like I did there. Because I just glued them right across. See? That's how you do it. This is a small one. And then we have like a baby one. Then we got another size. I was really big on the hats. I don't know what I'm going to use them all for, but I got the hats now. Okay? So let's move this all away and we'll start gluing our stuff. And I need a new mat. This mat's got black paint. I've scrubbed it. I scrubbed it with some bleach and I took all the markings off. This looks pretty nasty. So, here's our little head. I want to have it at a cock, but I want everything else to be even. And then we'll put the hat on so it will look like that. That will look cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this up here because this is where I want it. I got my face straight, get my eyeballs straight, get my nose in there. How is that? Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to flip it back and get some glue around the top part of it. So it will stick really good. The edging is what I'm worried about because I can always flip it back. And just glue it down. Then I'm just going to pick it up and glue it. Go around the edges up here, just stick my glue gun around the edges and hold it so it'll adhere. Yeah, with that double stuff, I mean, that stuff is not going to move off there. After I did that double of the glue. So I don't know. I don't know if you use the clear tacky glue or just put the only thing about the Mod Podge is that I'm just going right around the edge of the curved edge I have going here. And then hold it down. I should have probably put my eyeballs and everything on first. So let's get our eyes situated. Hopefully I got this on there. You know, and there's probably cuter eyes in that you can find. I would just go on. Well, it didn't make them milky here because I got Mod Podge on top of the tacky glue. My first thing was done with the tacky glue and it didn't stick them because I don't think I had it thick enough. And then I went and I coated. You know, that's what I was thinking. Oh my God, I've ruined this because the Mod Podge, and then I put all the glitter on there too. But at first it looks milky, but just let it dry because it came out perfect. But it looked all milky when it was drying. What do you mean? The gloss and what? The Mod Podge? That's what I use. I probably put that back. I don't put anything back, but I did put that back. I do use the gloss. Yeah, that's what I use. And this is not milky at all. It's just got the sparkles all over it. So let's make sure that we got everything even so we don't have a cross-eyed gingerbread. And then I'm using the roping, the glitter roping that I get from Amazon, or you can get on Temu too. It just depends on who, you know, sometimes like when I first bought it on Temu it was very cheap, and then when I went back it wasn't. And then it equaled out that what I was paying on Amazon was cheaper, because it was like $10 or $11 for a yard of it. And the only thing good about getting it on Amazon is you're going to get your 10 yards in one thing, where Temu you get 1 yard things, which I don't really like. So now, why is this curling on me? I don't want it to curl. I want it to be straight. Now I'm using my lollipops for the end. Okay, that looks cute. Let's put our eyeballs down. Cherry. I just took the stem off of it. Maybe I'll just reuse this. Coach is having a purse sale, if anybody's interested. Then we're going to be putting this down. Let me see if these are, which side I like the best. Let's get it in the middle so we don't have a crooked looking. Yeah. Glue down our little lollipops. Then glue that to stick there for its little smile. Cute, huh? Getting cute. So, now what I wanted to do, that's why I like to have the, just going to check to make sure I got this all stuck. So that you can slip it over when you attach it, and it can be attached here. Because I was thinking with this one, I was thinking of like setting it up. I do like that, but I think I would have a hard time getting that attached. It does look cuter, that one. I wonder if I can get that to stay upright. I just don't think I will. So I'm going to attach it along the back, and then in the front, I'm going to attach it where I take the ruffle and attach that. So it kind of stands up more. Do you think? Don't you think it looks cuter when it stands up more? Very cute, adorable. No, you're not answering my questions, girls. Let's see. Let's put our glue down and we'll get it situated in the back. I'm just gonna do it like crisscross across the whole thing so that I know that it will attach. And then press it in. Then I'm going to flip this up and put it, see if I can get this to stand up a little bit, which I think I might have a problem, but we'll see. And I put it right on the edge of this, so that it'll stand up. I'm going to glue these down more so it's more secure, because I only tacked them. This is cute. Now, let's see if we can get a cherry on the top. I was going to stiffen that up with, I think that if you put only on the top of this so that it, but you have to be very, very careful so it'll stay up when you're, so this cherry on top will stay up. A little bit of glue on it, you know, like spray glue, and just let it dry. Because I think, and I didn't do that. I should have done that, and I didn't. Shame on me. And I think that will help it stay up. I'm just securing these a little bit more. I more or less tacked them. Let's see if I can get this to sit up here. See, if the glue was on here, it would stiffen it. And I think it would hold it up. And I got sparkles on it, sprinkles on it, and glue on it. I think it's gonna stay. All right. So we end up with it like this. You sent me some fabric? Oh, goody, goody. See if I got him straight. Oh, there, that looks straight. Yeah, now he looks straight. So now, if you want to, now if you're going to use this for an attachment, you could just put glue on this. But if you want to, you know, if you're going to sell them, I would take and make this out of the poster board to put over top of it. This one's got stuff on it. Marking. This one's got stuff on it too. See, Debbie's not very neat. And glue it on the back. Then I would, well, first I would put, so that you could use, I imagine you can use pipe cleaners for this too. That will work. I put it, glue this on there so it stays. I would put the glue gun, but I would also use a little bit of that stick fast or some kind of crazy glue, and then, you know, measure it down here. I don't have anything over here. Measure it right here. After this is glued, and I let it sit for a day before you did it, you know, so that this will stay. Then I would measure it here in the middle, match it, and then just stick in 2 holes. So I'm thinking it would be right here, and then right here, and then just stick your, to make a hole in it. See, and then once this is glued on and is stuck, and where it will stay, because I would make, you know, because they're going to be, when they're tying this in, it's got to be quite secure. Then you can just stick your, so you can always just cut these down or make them a little bigger, because then you can put a little bit of glue through it on the back. Stick it through. After, you know, you could even do it all at once. Make sure this is nice and flat so that it will stay. But I would glue this down before I put the top on, like that. Glue it all around, glue it around the edges, and if there's any edges showing, then you want to trim it all the way around, you know, where it isn't, or where you don't have pencil marks like I have right here. And then I would put a lot of glue on the top of this, and I would use a little bit of that sticky glue to make sure that it doesn't move. And get some of my sparkles. Oh wait, we gotta put some blush on it too. I had to go find blush, pink blush, which I don't have because I don't usually use pink blush. I use peach. So we're gonna use this glitzy and give it some little cheeks. You know your address? You want me to send this to you? I can. And that is our project for tonight. Do I have any questions from anybody? Oh, I'm doing good. Any questions about what we've done? And I'll try to have all the information in my, if anybody decides to do it. And if you do, please, I'd like to see it, because I'd like to see what people make. Alrighty, ladies, sorry for the inconvenience of me having all sorts of issues. I'm not sure what I did wrong, or if there was anything I could have done wrong, but I don't know why I couldn't get this to turn. When I would turn my phone this way, it wouldn't give me where I could go live. So I don't know what that's about either. Alrighty, thank you. Thank everybody for being patient with me. See you in 2 weeks.